I'm going to take you through quite a lot of details with the idea of increasing exports. And we need to understand certain things because my observation is very small. I'm in the industry for roughly 45 years now. So, some inputs I would like to convey to you. This is what we are going to look at. This is our agenda for today. And first, let us start with exports. My analysis is a little different. I'm going to go by the chapter headings, HS code chapter headings. There are 9 headings, approximately covers 264 billion. There are 43 headings, which covers approximately 156 billion. So 95 to 96% of our exports is covered by first 2 categories. Which are the first 9 categories? Chapter 27, petroleum products, 85, electrical machinery, 84, mechanical machinery, 71, gold and silver, 30, pharmaceuticals, 87, automobiles, 29, chemicals, 10, cereals, and 73, aluminium. Textile doesn't come in the first category. First point to note. Textile comes in the second category, where our total exports individually, if you go by the chapter wise, it is between 1 billion to 10 billion. So my first question is, are we really impacting the global market? If not, how do we expand the global markets? Absolute critical to understand. Then when I analyze these exports further, I find there are 9 countries where we have individual exports more than 10 billion. And with all these countries, either we have a FTA or we are negotiating a FTA. Then 1 billion to 10 billion, 49 countries, majority of them, we are either having FTAs or we are negotiating FTAs. Same story, 500 to 1 billion, 100 million to 500, and countries where our exports are less than 100 million, you will not believe this, 99 countries are covered in this list. So my first question to you, is our exports truly diversified? And then let us come to textile. What I like about textile is, it is roti, kapda or makan. And it's very interesting. Every human being requires textiles, irrespective of the population of the country. And it's very interesting now, even dogs and cats also wearing some dresses. Started, people like put them something. Can we expand our global footprint? A very, very serious question. Do we need to expand our global footprint? Absolutely yes. And one single reason I can state for that, textile is one industry which provides large amount of employment. For a country where the population is the highest in the world, we are touching 146 crores. Largest populated country of the world. But what is our exports? Hardly 437 billion. Maybe 1.7, 1.8%. We really need to diversify this. If you look at few, since this is denim, I thought of giving you some descriptions related to that. 8-digit code. On the right side, you will have the export value. Denim, men's and boys trousers, so garments coming out of this. But if you look at the total, it is hardly 600 million. What is the world turnover? All commodities put together, is $24,000 billion. What is India's contribution? $437 billion. 1.7, 1.8%. That is what we represent in the global market. Do we need to improve upon this? Of course, yes. Are we really trying to do that? Individually, yes. Collectively, we need to take few more steps. I will explain you those steps as well. This is the denim story. Textile products to top 10 countries, 52 and 62. Which are the countries? Bangladesh, USA, UK, UAE, China, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, France and Vietnam. If you look at the top 10 countries. And that is why whatever Mr. Trump says worries us. Because our exports to America itself is 2,695 millions. That is over $2.6 billion. $1 billion is approximately 8,500 crores. It's a huge market for us. Cannot be forgotten. We have to do something about it, definitely. But simultaneously, we need to develop other markets. Now think of a situation, Bangladesh. Why are we exporting such large amount to Bangladesh? Because they are going to convert it into a value-added product and they'll be exporting to EU. And because they have a least developed country status, their products will enter European market duty-free, quota-free. That gives them minimum margin of 9.2%. If you calculate the duties in EU, my product will be subjected to 9.2, his product will be subjected to 0 duty. So I am exporting the product. Am I the only country doing this? Korea also doing the same thing. Japan also is doing the same thing. So the question is, can we restrict ourselves to few countries? Or should we expand ourselves to 200 countries? The time has come that we need to expand our global footprint in countries where we have not bothered much about, but we need to bother now. And that's very critical for all of us. Now let us look at India's trade with USA. Total export of India 437.51 billion. Exports to USA 86.51 billion. All products put together. I am not talking only about textiles. Percentage share in India's total exports 19.8%. US represent 19.8% of India's total exports. Total imports of USA $3,359 billion. India's exports to USA $91.23 billion. And share in US's total imports 2.7%. Figure from our side may look large. But when it comes to US, they are going to treat China differently. They are going to treat India differently. Because their dependency on a single country and their dependency on us is completely different. Let me ask you a question. If somebody sells 70% of your products, he is your distributor, and another distributor sells 2% of your products, whom you will bother about? 70 or 2? So for us, US is a very important market, agreed. For US, are we that important? Question mark. If you take only 3 countries of the world, China, USA and Germany, put together they account for 30% of the trade. They practically decide what happens. What is the population of Germany? 8.3 crores. What is our population? 146 crores. What is export of Germany? $1,500 billion. Export is a priority. We are still, I don't think we are really gone to that level where we can say export is a priority. I may give you reasons. Go to DGFT office. Ask them how many import-export codes are there. For export, you require import-export code. The total number of codes are hardly 8 lakhs. And operative codes, please don't ask. There are a number of codes where nothing is being done. It is just registered. He is not doing anything. Maybe 5 lakhs. 5 lakh entities only. We need to improve on this. Unless until it becomes a passion or it becomes something which comes within your heart. It has to come from there. That's critically important. Will Mr. Trump cater to you? I was joking about this that, okay, from 2nd February onwards, he has been changing tariffs one after the other. So finally, what are you going to do? So the joke said, I myself don't know. I have to ask myself what next I am going to do. Now see, as far as we are concerned, whatever extensions, duty extensions extended to us are applicable up to 27th of August. The duties that are charged on China, Mr. Trump has increased. He paused the period up to 10th of November. Up to 10th of November, they will be subjected to old duty. Where Trump was talking, I will charge them 125% duty. And we are worried about what is going to happen on 27th of August. What will happen? Will we be subjected to 50% duty? Definitely my margins are not 50%. Can I absorb that duty? Big problem. My customer in USA may not ask me to hold the goods. He is not sure what will be the end cost he is going to pay. So please don't understand this from one single angle. He has his own agenda. And it's very interesting. Yesterday he says something, next day he says something about Ukraine, then he talks about Putin something differently, then Putin goes to Alaska, then interesting talks takes place, and then we'll decide, okay, I will tell you later on whether peace is getting ultimately happening or not. We don't know. We'll have to see this. Two people discuss future of third country. And you can't help it. And next day you find all European leaders are going along with Mr. Zelensky because it's a matter of energy supplies coming from Russia. There are a number of issues. It is not just one single issue. The latest I hear, yesterday morning I heard this from USA, and it's very interesting that there is a kind of discussion going on that why we should grant so many H-1B visas to Indians. They are taking jobs away from Americans. We should reduce their number of jobs. Suppose you don't get H-1B visa, your son, your cousin, anybody working there, prepared to come back? Even if he is prepared to come back, are you going to pay him the same amount of money what he gets there? So services is another issue. Products is another issue. Geopolitical relationships are issues. That is how ultimately the framework will take place. And some serious issues also I will discuss which has happened only this week. So, India contributes only about 3% in totality to US. You cannot be considered a very major trading partner for US. He wants you to buy a number of goods from him. He wants you to buy aerospace. He wants you buy arms. He wants you to buy oil. Number of things he wants you to buy unless until you say okay, the dilly-dallying continues. So what are reciprocal tariffs? This is a chart which will give you an idea. Smart. Then these are product-wise charts. This is done by GTRI, Global Trade Research Initiative, headed by Mr. Ajay Srivastav. Ajay Srivastav was earlier additional DGFT, very knowledgeable person. He has created this. And you can check from this what is the latest tariff. We are worried about 50% tariff. And the condition for this 50% tariff, you should not import oil from Russia. What is our import of oil from Russia? It is $55 billion. Are you likely to reduce this, bring it zero? Not possible. Is he going to agree with whatever we say? Not possible. Then he says, I was thinking of sending a delegation to India, now I want to postpone it. So again, what is going to happen on 24th of August or 27th of August? We really don't know. As a end customer, whether exporter or importer, we are worried about the situation. I 100% agree. It will impact our immediate future. But we should not allow anybody else to disturb our long-term future. We'll have to find out alternate ways, even if this situation continues. In my personal opinion, it may not continue. If Ukraine gets resolved, if some agreement happens between Europe and things will change. And again, what is the next duration that you are supposed to look into? November 10th. Because the pause on duties for China is extended up to November 10. You don't have such pause as on date. We'll have to know whether he announces something again on 27th of August or not. That has to be seen. We really don't know. %25 duty. This chart will tell you vessel sailed before 7/8/2025, arrival before 5/10/2025 will be subject to 10%. Again, vessel sailed before 7/8/2025. What is today's date? 21st. So first portion is gone. Matter end. Don't think about it. Effective date 27th August. Vessel sailed before 27th August, arrival before 17th 9 will be subject to 10% duty, 25% duty. Now, how much you are able to board on the vessel before 27th of August and which guarantees you entry into US? 17/9. Actual transit time is more than 1 month. Sometimes it takes 45 days. If that happens, what will happen to the duty portion? Unless until this is revised before 27th. If not, this will continue. We really don't know. Can any one of you say what will happen on 27th? Can Trump himself is able to say what he wants to do on 27th? Even that is not sure. So one thing is absolutely certain, that future is uncertain. That we must learn the first lesson. No options. Indian denim to reach the US market is often indirect. Indian fabrics being converted into ready-made apparel in third countries before export to USA. Second rule will also apply, where substantial transformation has taken place or not. Based on that, origin will be decided. Based on that, duties will be made applicable. So process of manufacturing will play an important role. Those of you who know about free trade agreements, they must be aware of this, that there is something called regional value content. And there is some material, non-originating material, some material originating material, and transformation has to take place maybe at 2-digit level, 4-digit level or 6-digit level. Simple job work may not be considered as manufacture. Those points also have to be kept in mind. Direct ready-made apparel export from India to USA are now subject to a steep 50% effective US tariff, making Indian denim products up to 35% more expensive. It directly employs over 45 million people, indirectly supports over 100 million. This was a study conducted by a textile specialist. He's a student of mine, so I requested him for this program that you give me something in-depth. I just do not want to look at cursory things. So he worked this out. US and EU account for approximately 47% of India's total textile and apparel exports. So both markets are critical for us. Are we negotiating free trade agreement with EU? Answer is yes. What is the time period? It is 6+ years. Still it is not concluded. Because every FTA is arranged marriage. Both have say. It is not love marriage that I like this girl, I married, you don't ask me a second question. Here mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, everybody talks. Everybody has his own way of thinking and everybody advises you. So negotiation take a longer period of time. Even the fastest agreement we concluded India-UK, that also took about 3 years. But we need these agreements faster. Because these agreements will offer us the duty concession that we are looking forward to. And therefore, my first request to you, concentrate on India-EU. Make sure whatever points you want to represent it to Ministry of Commerce. Because that agreement is not yet signed. Steep 50% effective rate. China, effective rate on imports from China is 30%, which was originally talked about 145, because their contribution is very big, rare earth, God knows how many things they supply, electronics, chips, n number of things. Bangladesh, tariff escalated to 37%. Vietnam, tariff escalated to 46%. Indian exporters typically operate on thin margins, 5 to 7%, making 50% tariff absorption impossible. We'll have to negotiate this. There is no other option, but it is not in our hands. Considerably, we are weak. Industry analysts fear a potential 40-50% drop in US bound orders, especially in cotton and knitted apparel segment. Be prepared for it. Now, suppose this situation happens to you as an entrepreneur, what will you do? The best option for you to find out another market. I have stocks ready. I have material ready. Somebody cancel the order. Is there anybody else who is prepared to accept this and I maintain my margins? If that is the case, at least 50% you try for this. That will give you cash flow. Easy situation in cash flow. Money will not be blocked. First point to note, these are universal essentials. I already said roti, kapda and makan. Kapda is must. So you have a market. If I go by current population figure, you have a market of approximately 8 billion people across the globe. Out of that, 1.46 billion keep away. That is Indian market. That cannot be called exports. Because every single human being requires. And it's beauty of human beings that they select. I have never come across a single situation where the elephant says, I want only Sony TV. It is always the human being he says this. No other living species talk about their choices. And clothing is a very wide area. If I like something, I would like to buy it, even if I don't need it. होता है ना, मार्केट में हम जाते हैं, एक शर्ट पसंद आया, दूसरे दो लेके आए. फिर somebody comes and says, I'll give you 40% discount, और दो खरीद लिए. Very common practice anywhere in the world. And anywhere in the world you have a customer. Global market opportunity we have to see. We must invest in building our brand, improving market strategies, positioning India as a reliable and innovative source of textiles and apparel. The last part is critically important. Your footprint in the overseas market should not be small. It should be large. And that is something we have to work on. We have to build the brands to that extent where we get represented by this. Another issue, sustainability. Understand why I am talking of sustainability. All developed countries are looking for environmental changes and sustainability. And our exports only to European Union and USA put together is 47%. 47% of your market is going to look for sustainable products. You'll have to work on sustainability, has to look into this particular aspect. sustainable, ethical, and innovative textiles. Cotton. My state, Maharashtra, is one of the states. Because of the last week's complete rains, how much crop we have lost? It is 12 lakh hectares. 12 lakh hectares. Naturally, cotton will be in short supply when it comes to Maharashtra. We'll have to find out alternate ways how we should go about it. By showcasing our ability to align with global sustainability norms, Indian textiles, especially denim, can command a premium despite tariffs. The study says this is possible. It all depends on how well you establish your brand. What is your recognition of the brand? You tell me, let me ask some difficult questions and some very easy questions. What do you think of Mercedes about quality? How many of you have doubts about the quality of Mercedes? No one. Brand is so famous. Is it cheap? Definitely not. Are you prepared to pay the high price? Yesterday I was talking in a seminar, very interesting thing I'll tell you. We have given quota to UK that we will import cars. Within 1 year, we'll import 1800 cars and we'll give them duty concession. That duty concession would be from 100% to 10%. In India, how much time you think you will require to book 1800 cars coming from UK? If you ask me, 18 minutes. Let the agreement come into, everybody will go for buying 1 crore 25 lakhs because I am paying only 10% duty instead of what I was paying 100% plus duty. That is the establishment of a brand. We'll have to look at this. Our brand has to be so established that people should ask for it. Digitalization of marketing and supply chains. Global buyers now seek end-to-end traceability. This is critically important, end-to-end traceability. Are we digitalized? At the government level, everything is digitalized. Let me ask you a question. How do you file your applications with DGFT? Online. How do you find your GST returns? Online. How do you find your income tax returns? Online. How do you file documents on customs website? Online. To that extent, we are digitalized. Have we digitalized our marketing and supply chains? Think about this. Nobody is prepared to wait. Sometimes I joke, for the younger generation, I always say, forget tomato, no problem. Remember Zomato. Because Zomato will deliver you tomato. Tomato you may not remember at all. Happening or not happening? At the ground level, at personal level, we are all attached to digitalization. Do you write a letter? No, you send a message. Do you send a video? Are you a member of any WhatsApp group? All answers are yes. How do you make transactions in bank? RTGS, NEFT. Are you accustomed to receiving an OTP and okaying it? Okay. How many of you are attached to the smartphone? Is smartphone a gadget or part of your body? Real answer I want. It is part of the body. If I don't have it, I feel something is lost. Personal life, we have accepted digitalization in totality. We'll have to concentrate on this. Because if there is no matching with the documents, it will create a problem. Going forward, we are going to have all certificate of origin issued online. We are going to sign more and more mutual recognition agreements with different countries. Government has already passed bill of lading, bill in the Lok Sabha very recently. Document will be converted completely online. Your transaction will also be online. You have to understand what is blockchain. You have to understand what is blockchain in finance. You have to understand what is blockchain in shipping. Critical aspect. You cannot avoid that. This part has to be understood very, very critical. Latest news. This is Executive Order 14.3.24. Effective date 29th of August. De minimis duty-free treatment suspended for all countries. Understand this. What is this duty-free de minimis treatment? If you are sending a parcel by post where the value of the goods is less than $800 in certain categories, $1,000 in certain categories, your product will be cleared in USA without payment of duty. That is de minimis. De minimis has been discontinued. From which date? Date is given there, 29th of August. Whatever parcel you want to send, by post or by air or by courier, finish it. The fellow should receive it before 28th of August. If not, duty will be charged. What is the future of this? You know how much is the business covered under this? You will be surprised. In USA, this route is available roughly for $500 billion of imports, which are entering USA without payment of duty. If only 10% is charged, Mr. Trump is saying, I will earn $50 billion. So let us charge the duty. What is the limit on individual parcels? The limit on individual parcels is 10 lakhs of rupees. Is 10 lakh a small amount for you? Suppose every day you are sending something 10 lakhs. What is the monthly turnover? 2.5 crores. On 2.5 crores, 10% duty you are saving. Your customer is saving. 29th August onward, this is not available. Official document I am showing you. Affected stakeholders, transportation carriers, airline shipping companies, couriers, international mail operators, custom brokers, qualified parties handling low value shipments, exporters and e-commerce platform relying on small value duty-free entry. Within days, things have changed. If you are contributing, let's say, $30 billion buy of exports through these methodologies, that export is also going to suffer. What is the date of suffering? 29th of August. That day it starts. Compliance guidance. Declaration requirements. All shipments, regardless of value, must now be declared. Data reporting. Carriers must provide complete electronic data sets. Duties and fees. Custom duty is applicable on all imports unless exempted by other statutes. Operational adjustments. Review IT systems for automated duty assessment. Update billing and customer communication process to reflect duty liability. All done. Unless until it is postponed, this will become effective from 29th of August. For businesses, loss of de minimis exemption, higher import duty have to be paid. For US customs, higher administrative burden, greater duty collection potential. For consumers, imported small packages previously duty-free, now subject to duty. Suppose you send something on 28th, but it enters in US on 30th August. Will it be subject to payment of duty? Answer is yes. Pursuant to the executive order, effective August 29, de minimis duty-free treatment will no longer be available for shipments entering into United States not covered by 50 USC. The attached guidance provides detailed instructions for transportation carriers. Look at this. Click on this, you will get it. So what is the way forward? Difficulties we understand, problems we understand. How we are going to go, how we are going to tackle this situation. First, expanding FTAs. Currently, we have FTAs roughly about 50 countries. We are likely to have FTAs in another 2 years, roughly around 134 countries. The way EU has a customs union, so anybody exporting goods from Germany doesn't file a shipping bill. Person importing goods in Portugal doesn't file a bill of entry. Africa is going to follow the same procedure. ASEAN countries are also going to follow the same procedure. This is bound to happen. Leveraging free trade warehousing zones. Please understand, one of the critical aspects of current generation, I want everything instantly. I'm not prepared to wait. So you'll have to look at free trade and warehousing zones abroad where duty-free storage can be made and goods can be offered on demand within a day. We'll have to think about this. Adapting to new trade trends, there is a word called friendshoring and there is a word called nearshoring. Friendshoring means you are buying or selling to a country which is your friend. And nearshoring means you are reducing the distance. If we had good relationship with Bangladesh, friend sharing, nearshoring, both is possible. But countries world over are going to look at this. If I have alternate close to my country's borders, I would like to buy goods from them. We'll have to identify which are the major markets. Can we set up joint ventures in those countries? Make the goods available then and there. Nobody is prepared to wait. In our normal life also we are not prepared to wait. मैं आपको आधे घंटे में डिलीवरी देता हूँ, कंप्यूटर बोलता है 20 मिनट में देता हूँ, तीसरा कंप्यूटर बोलता है 10 मिनट में देता हूँ. किसके पास जाएंगे आप? 10 मिनट वाले के पास जाएंगे. Same thing is happening world over. Good old generation, they used to have patience. Now we don't have any patience whatsoever. We want immediately. So this is something one has to understand. Ease of doing business in practice. India, I find one problem. Our blueprints are very good. Practical implementation is weak. Now we have to insist on the government, give us practical implementation. If you are digitalizing everything, remove manual intervention. The document need not be signed by any officer of the government for giving approval. It should be completely online. And we have one very big market which is practicing this. Let me give you an example. In 2000 or prior to 2000, if I want to buy shares, I used to get the delivery of the shares after 1 month. During that 1 month, I am worried because I have paid money, my account is debited, share has not been received. So I keep following with my broker. अरे यार क्या हुआ, शेयर आया नहीं. बोलता सर उसने ट्रांसफर का फॉर्म तो साइन किया बट सिग्नेचर टैली नहीं हो रही. N number of problems. Today when you operate on DMAT, what do you check? You don't check anything. You give the order, broker says yes sir, this is the price, I bought it. Next day you get the confirmation, your account is debited, shares are credited to your account, you are very happy. You don't go to the company back again कि सच में बताओ शेयर मेरे नाम से हुए कि नहीं हुए. You believe the system. System has become paperless. If we can handle share market, why can't we handle export-import documentation in this fashion? Give it to agency who understands it well. Make the systems, make technology-oriented systems and give me approval then and there. Why should I run from office to office, spend money? This has to be insisted upon. Our problem, there is one more problem India has. We always ask for incentives. अभी भी चल रहा है मार्केट में कि सर वो जरा थोड़ा ड्रॉबैक बढ़ा सकते हैं आप, RODTP थोड़ा तो बढ़ा दो. Without thinking that drawback is refund of custom duty. What it has to do with import duty applicable in another country? RODTP remission of local taxes. जो भरा ही नहीं उसका रिफंड कैसे मिलेगा? Are you prepared to give me? If I ask you a question, refund my 1,000 rupees which I never gave you. Are you going to say yes, please take? Don't run after incentivization per se. It is not permitted. India also has filed countervailing duty cases against other exporters from other countries. Please don't follow this. Don't ask for incentives. Instead, ask for simplification of businesses, simplification of processes. That is critically important. Sustainability and certification. Your products have to be eco-friendly. Get eco marks. And pestle analysis. Pest analysis was taught in all MBA courses. Understand political, economic, social, technological. Now there are two new factors added starting from Europe. One is environmental and second is legal. Be sure that you are complying with this. Why environmental compliance plays a very important role? Ecomark. Ecomark is a labeling of environmental friendly products. They are applicable to soaps, detergents, paint, food items, lubricating oils, packaging materials. Number of items are added, including textiles. This will enhance your possibility of exporting the product if you can have a ecomark for your product. These are the countries. These are the web links. These countries look for ecomark. And you will find most of these countries, Germany, Canada, Japan, Nordic countries, that is Finland, Denmark, etc. United States, New Zealand, Austria, Singapore, France, Netherlands, European Union, South Korea, Taiwan, Luxembourg. Most of these countries are developed countries. They are going to ask for this sooner or later. So, study these. These are the details. Sweden, Spain, Croatia, Israel, Brazil, China, etc., etc. Please study this carefully because these are your markets. 47% of your exports, US and Europe, most of it gets covered under this. "36 countries. What are the benefits? Meets consumer demand for sustainability. It eases your market access. It helps you regulatory compliance. Enhances reputation because your product is made ethically, sustainably, protecting the environment, which is a key issue today. Competitive differentiation. Access to green investments. You can also attract investment. There are companies prepared to give you green finance. Risk reduction. Align with global sustainability goals. Textile has to do this. Critically important for further development. One good example of this is KG Fabrics. KG Fabrics is a company which manufactures 20 million meters of sustainable denim in a year. They use only 6 liters of water against the industry average of 60 liters. Very good example, Indian example to understand. They have been able to cut down the water consumption by 90%. With help of new technology, they achieved zero solid discharge and zero liquid discharge. 100% of their raw materials used in the sense even remains for manufacturing process are cycles into gloves, pillow fillings, etc., etc. Very good example. You can check it from Tamil Nadu, available on the website, no problem. The gentleman, Srihari Balakrishnan, is highly educated, highly sensitive about this, and he has increased employment in Coimbatore region. This is something worth looking at. And this is the Indian model. This is not a model that you are bringing it from Germany or somewhere. This is the Indian model. We need to look at these kind of models. So in conclusion, market diversification provides safety from the overchanging nature of international trade market. You cannot concentrate on one single country, however beautiful it is. Because there are other people interested in exporting goods to USA. You are not the only one. Eco-labels are a current and future necessity for boosting our export potential. They not only help align with global standard but also offer several benefits. What are these benefits? Meeting sustainable goals, facilitating market access in developed countries, staying ahead of regulations, gaining competitive advantage, enhancing your brand image. Absolutely necessary for our industry. And if we really follow these steps, I can guarantee you, we will be able to absorb whatever we lose in USA, we'll gain it from other countries. Here are other issues, de-dollarization, global south, other countries coming together, trying to expand their market scenarios, etc. That will also happen. But this is something which can be immediately looked into, taken care of, put forward and implemented. Don't let it be just a blueprint for you. Let it be an executive order that you have to work on it from tomorrow. And I can guarantee you, if you follow all these principles, yes, you have a much brighter future than what you have today. It's my habit to give a thought. I am a great ardent fan of Zen Buddhism. 2 reasons. Buddha is the only person in the whole history. He says you are responsible for your karmas. He doesn't transfer your karmas to somebody else. Some God will save you, nothing. And Japan I like because of precision. Buddha thoughts with complete precision put into. And it is something so very interesting. Recently I went to Japan and I was just checking few things out of common interest. A train which is carrying 1300 people running between Kyoto and Tokyo. Time taken 2.5 hours. Distance is more than 500 kilometers. I just ask a question out of curiosity. How much it takes to clean the train? 1300? 80 persons per coach. So whatever number of coaches that come. Some 18 coaches. 17 or 18 coaches. And they told me for complete cleaning and checking, we require 7 minutes for a train. If the train gets delayed by 1 minute, the station master requests you to please excuse him. I am sorry, my train is delayed by 1 minute. In India, 1 minute delay is not a delay at all. It is right time train. That's the way we think of. Anything we want to start, we can always say, 5-10 minutes to chalta hai, usme kya problem? So follow these principles. When it hurts, observe. Life is trying to teach you something. We need to learn these lessons and we need to expand our global footprint. We have official target of $1,000 billion by 2030. And 23-24, 24-25, our exports have not increased. They are around 437 billion. If we want to increase it from 437 to 1,000 billion, we require 20% growth per year. Currently, our growth is point something. You can imagine how big is the challenge. But the bigger challenge has bigger opportunities. And that's why I decided that I should consolidate and tell you exactly what actions we need to take if you are going to lose a market like this. We hope we will not lose it because Mr. Trump can change anything any day. He might tomorrow say, no, 20th August is a good date, very good date. Now I don't want to charge you this duty. I'll reduce it to 15%. That is also possible. And it is also possible, who are you? Why are you asking duty reduction, etc.? I like 2 of his sentences which he normally uses. One thing they say, very interesting, don't ask crazy questions. Second thing he says, don't ask stupid questions. Now who decides what is crazy and what is stupid? He himself. So keep that away. Let's look at enthusiastic things. Let's hope we will not be subjected to 50% tariff, though it is not in our control. But what is in our control is to expand our market with our quality, with our credibility, with our competitiveness. And we enter into markets which are not seen so far. We have 200 countries. Why not? We look into those as well. Finally, a big thank you. Gagandeep ji, he has asked me to participate in this. So thank you. And all of you, I hope this will help you in some way understanding things. Thank you so much.